rainbow. Red and yellow, black and white. We're all precious in God's sight.
Of course, he was best known for the Rainbow Coalition that he formed, the Reverend Jesse Jackson in Louisville from the WHAS 11 archives. This is 1988. He came here often. The famous message from Reverend Jackson ending with "Everybody is somebody." And WHAS 11 Shirlene Shanklin is joining me here at 6:30 with more of our coverage. And Shirlene, he was here a lot, and WHAS 11 certainly covered him so closely over the decades.
Yes, sir. And it was a mantra that we just heard, the presidential candidate. He was one that was remembered this morning in Louisville, doing a special service to remember his life. This morning, we learned that Reverend Jesse Jackson died at the age of 84.
Well, and his family reported that he died in peace, surrounded by his family at his home in Chicago. And that famous phrase that we just showed you was one that echoed throughout Louisville 40 years ago as he was campaigning for president and came actually here to campaign.
That's right. And WHAS 11's Conroy DeLuche and photojournalist Jessica Farley show us how today he was remembered across the city that he visited very often.
Tonight, there are two facts we know. One is that I was not elected president. The other more basic fact is that I'm qualified. All right.
2 decades before Barack Obama was elected president, Jesse Jackson made 2 competitive bids for the White House. He campaigned across Kentucky, from Louisville to Harlan.
A man of Reverend Jackson's stature, I think, is important to finding the solutions.
And all of us look just alike in the dark when the lights go out.
He did not win, but the civil rights icon continued visiting Kentucky.
Jesse Jackson would show up wherever there was injustice.
As people protested social injustice and the police shooting of Breonna Taylor in 2020,
No peace.
Jesse Jackson came back to Louisville.
The whole world revolted for fairness and justice.
Dr. Kevin Cosby shared a stage with Jackson during that visit.
I think when I first met him, I was so in awe of him because he's iconic.
All my life you have been faithful.
Hours after Jackson died at 84 years old, the pews were packed inside Central Presbyterian Church. The congregation delivering the same message he did 4 decades ago. Jackson may not be around to deliver another stirring sermon, but his legacy lives on in Louisville, right on the campus of Simmons College at the Center for Racial Justice.
There are 101 HBCUs, but the family selected Louisville's HBCUs to help continue his great work and to maintain his legacy.
Even in death, to continue leaving lessons for future generations.
Our mission says we want them to become agents of change in society. We want them to see him as an example of a person that did it and that they too can do it.
Jackson is gone, but the fight for a more perfect union continues. In Louisville, Conroy DeLuche, WHAS 11, on your side.
During his weekly briefing, Louisville Mayor Craig Greenberg called Jackson an amazing civil rights leader who gave him great hope for the country.
And tonight, a number of famous political figures reacting to Reverend Jackson's death, including President Trump.
Well, via Truth Social, President Donald Trump writing in part, he was a good man with lots of personality, grit, and street smarts. He was very gregarious, someone who truly loved people. Jesse was a force of nature like few others before him.
And meantime, the Obamas also reacted to Reverend Jackson's death. Today, former President Barack Obama issuing a statement saying, for more than 60 years, Reverend Jackson helped lead some of the most significant movements for change in human history. He was relentless for his belief that we all are children of God, deserving dignity and respect. Michelle and I will always be grateful for Jesse's lifetime service and friendship our families both share. And then also, Doug, we want to also remember not to forget the friends of the late Muhammad Ali. The Ali Center sent their condolences, and don't forget that Jackson's daughter-in-law, Marilyn Jackson, was the past president for the Ali Center. And here's in part of some of the condolences. His life's work challenged us to believe in the power of collection action and the responsibility to serve others. We extend our deepest sympathies and honor his lasting legacy. To see the whole statement, visit the Ali Center page. We also have a picture of Ali and Jackson together. Both used their platforms for the betterment of their people. Jackson and Ali originally thought that they both had Parkinson's, but later Jackson was diagnosed to have something different, having the same symptoms. I sat down with civil rights leader Maddie Jones last week, and she reminded me when Jackson and other leaders came in town, they always came to her home to break bread and strategize their next move. She actually introduced him in a rally when he ran for president. I met Jackson on multiple occasions, but I talked to him a lot as a producer of Reverend Louis Coleman's radio show. He was a regular on our show. And then, Doug, this is just a special moment for me. I knew Mr. Jackson, especially talked to him a whole lot, but there's another Kentuckian that we need to talk about, and that's Whitney Young Jr. He also attended his funeral. Whitney Young, they were very prominent, and they worked together hand in hand through the civil rights movement. Shelbyville. Yes.
All right. Thank you very much, Shirlene.
Thank you.
And we'll be right back with more after this.